Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News. Fans, imagine a place where every sunrise feels like a fresh start, and every sunset whispers the promise of something magical. That's paradise. But what happens when two hearts, Alexe and Andrew, collide in this tropical wonderland? Buckle up, because their journey isn't just a love story, it's a roller coaster of emotions, surprises, and life-changing decisions. And trust me, by the end, you'll be holding your breath, waiting to see if love truly conquers all. Montage of Alexe and Andrew's first encounters, slow-motion laughter, shy glances, and rose ceremonies. It all began on a sun-kissed afternoon. Alexe, radiant and full of charm, walked into paradise with a heart wide open but cautious. Andrew, equally charismatic, carried the weight of past experiences but had a spark in his eyes that could light up an entire beach. From the moment their paths crossed, there was an undeniable tension, a magnetic pull that neither could ignore. Every laugh, every shared glance seemed to hint that something extraordinary was about to unfold. But, as many fans know, paradise is never simple. Drama lurks in the shadows, and trust is often tested. Close-up of Alexe and Andrew laughing during a group activity, then a dramatic pause as they notice each other across the crowd. Their first conversation was electric, yet cautious. They weren't just exchanging pleasantries, they were discovering pieces of each other that no one else could see. And just when it seemed they might step closer, a twist appears. An unexpected rose goes to someone else, leaving one of them to question, could this spark survive the challenges ahead? Cliffhanger shot. Alexe looking uncertain, Andrew walking away thoughtfully. Point 2. The challenge of trust. In paradise, love is rarely straightforward. For Alexe and Andrew, the road wasn't just lined with sunsets and romantic walks. Their connection was tested almost immediately. Rumors began swirling, alliances formed and broke, and as the cameras rolled, every word, every choice carried the weight of potential heartbreak. But here's what makes their story truly captivating. Instead of shying away from vulnerability, they leaned into it. They dared to speak their truths, sometimes painfully, sometimes awkwardly, but always honestly. And in a place designed for drama, that honesty became their most powerful ally. Montage of Alexe and Andrew in heartfelt conversations, confronting jealousy or misunderstandings. Andrew, known for his charming demeanor, had to reveal insecurities he never shared before. And Alexe, with grace and courage, had to trust her instincts, even when the odds seemed stacked against her. It's in these moments, the quiet, unguarded conversations, that their love began to deepen. But the question remained, could paradise's chaos be tamed by the strength of two hearts? Suspenseful music, a rose ceremony approaching, both characters visibly tense. Point 3. The breakthrough moment. Then came the moment that would define everything. A private date, a long walk along the shoreline, far from the cameras where the world seemed to disappear. Here, Alexe and Andrew found themselves not as contestants on a show, but simply as two people. Their laughter was louder, their silences more comfortable, and their hearts, unspoken, yet undeniably aligned. It was here, in the soft glow of the setting sun, that they shared their first true confession of feelings. But just as love seemed inevitable, paradise had one final test waiting for them, a surprise twist that would challenge their commitment in ways no one could predict. Suspenseful music, a rose ceremony approaching, both characters visibly tense. The audience was left on the edge of their seats. Would this connection survive? Could trust and authenticity withstand the game's inevitable curveballs? The answer is what makes this love story unforgettable. Love triumphs against odds. In the end, Alexe and Andrew's story isn't just about roses or ceremonies, it's about resilience, courage, and the transformative power of connection. They navigated misunderstandings, rivalries, and unexpected twists, yet they emerged stronger. Their love became an example of what happens when two people dare to be genuine in a world designed for performance. By holding fast to what mattered most, their hearts, they discovered that even in paradise, love is a choice, a journey, and above all, a triumph. Alexe and Andrew embracing as fireworks light up the night sky, a final rose in hand. And so what started as a fleeting spark became a blazing fire. Their journey reminds us that love isn't just about grand gestures. It's about showing up, being vulnerable, and trusting that the right person will see you, truly see you, through it all. Closing hook. Tease next episode or behind-the-scenes content. But here's the part you didn't see on TV. The moments behind the cameras, the private struggles, and the laughter that never made the edit. Stay tuned, because in our next deep dive, we'll reveal the hidden chapters of Alexe and Andrew's paradise romance and some surprises that might just leave you speechless. When the sun rises over paradise, it paints a canvas of hope and sometimes uncertainty. For Alexe and Andrew, this morning marked a turning point. Their connection had already begun to bloom, but paradise has a way of testing love when it feels strongest. Little did they know, the days ahead would challenge them in ways no heart could anticipate. When the sun rises over paradise, it paints a canvas of hope, and sometimes uncertainty. For Alexe and Andrew, this morning marked a turning point. Their connection had already begun to bloom, but paradise has a way of testing love when it feels strongest. Little did they know the days ahead would challenge them in ways no heart could anticipate. Jealousy and rivalries. In paradise, love isn't the only game in town. With every heartfelt confession comes a rival's envy. For Alexe, whispers of other contestants' interest in Andrew created a storm of doubt. Could he truly choose her, or was their connection fleeting? Andrew, meanwhile, faced his own challenges. Friends warning him, moments of temptation testing his loyalty. But what makes the story unforgettable isn't the tension, it's how they responded. Instead of letting jealousy poison their bond, they confronted it head-on, learning that trust is earned, not just through words, but through courageous, sometimes messy actions. The beauty of this phase? It revealed the strength of their emotions. What could have torn them apart instead became a proving ground. But as the rose ceremony approached, the stakes skyrocketed. One misstep, one hesitation, and all could be lost. Private moments that define love. Paradise isn't just about the spectacle. It's in the quiet, intimate moments, the shared laughs, the supportive embraces, the whispers of hope in the dark. One evening, under a canopy of stars, Alexe and Andrew shared a private conversation that would define their journey. They spoke not of strategy, but of dreams, fears, and the life they imagined together. For the first time, the cameras faded into the background, leaving two hearts exposed, vulnerable, and undeniably connected. It's in moments like these that love shows its true colors. Not in grand gestures, but in small, courageous acts of trust. And just when everything seemed perfect, paradise threw another curveball, a surprise twist from the producers, an unexpected arrival that would test the very foundation of their bond. The unexpected twist. Just as they thought they were safe, a familiar face returned, a contestant who had left under unclear circumstances, stirring memories, doubts, and unresolved emotions. The arrival created tension that could have shattered any budding romance. But here's the inspiring part. Alexe and Andrew didn't crumble. They leaned into the challenge, choosing communication, honesty, and patience over fear. Their willingness to face obstacles together made their connection stronger than ever, proving that love isn't about avoiding trials, it's about overcoming them. The drama heightened, the tension thickened, and the audience was left wondering, would this challenge finally break them, or would it cement their love as unshakable? The emotional climax. Then came the moment that would forever be etched in the hearts of fans. A rose ceremony unlike any other, where decisions weren't just about strategy, but about vulnerability, commitment, and courage. Alexe and Andrew stepped onto the stage, hearts pounding, knowing that the next few minutes could change everything. And when the final rose was handed, it wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a symbol of triumph over doubt, rivalry, and fear. Paradise had tested them, and they had emerged victorious. It's in this moment that Paradise proves its magic. Love, when nurtured with honesty and courage, can survive the storms, the whispers, and the unexpected twists of fate. A lesson in love and courage. Alexe and Andrew's journey is more than a television romance. It's a testament to what happens when two people refuse to let fear dictate their hearts. For our viewers, especially those who remember that love isn't always easy, it's a reminder that vulnerability is strength, that trust is priceless, and that courage often comes in small, everyday acts. And the most beautiful part? Their story continues, even beyond the beaches of paradise, proving that true love doesn't end with the final rose. But hold on, there's a behind-the-scenes chapter the cameras never captured. Moments of struggle, laughter, and intimacy that make their story even richer, more inspiring, and surprisingly relatable. In our next episode, we'll uncover those untold moments and reveal the surprises that could make fans gasp dipped below the horizon. Paradise revealed another layer of its magic and its challenges. Alexe and Andrew had survived the rose ceremonies, the rivalries, and the twists. But love, as they would soon learn, isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving together in the unexpected. Most viewers only see the polished moments, the roses, the smiles, the dramatic confrontations. But behind the cameras, Alexe and Andrew's journey was filled with small yet powerful moments that revealed the depth of their connection. They shared whispered conversations, quiet acts of kindness, and the kind of laughter that builds trust in ways words cannot describe. These moments, invisible to the audience, were the foundation of a bond that could withstand anything. It's easy to forget that in paradise, love must compete with constant scrutiny. Cameras are everywhere, contestants are always present, and every choice is under the microscope. Yet through it all, Alexe and Andrew created a bubble of authenticity, a private world where their emotions could flourish. Paradise isn't just a playground for romance. It's a crucible for the heart. Despite their growing connection, temptations arose. Past crushes, new arrivals, and subtle flirtations tested their commitment. And yet, what made Alexe and Andrew's story remarkable was their ability to navigate these challenges together. Instead of letting insecurity dictate their actions, they communicated openly, confronting doubts and fears head-on. The result? A love that deepened in intensity, proving that true connection isn't passive, it's actively nurtured. But just as their bond seemed unshakable, Paradise had one more surprise, a twist that would push both their courage and trust to the limit. The ultimate test. The group date was more than just a challenge. It was a test of character. Competitors vied for attention, alliances shifted, and emotions ran high. Alexe and Andrew were under pressure, but instead of retreating, they leaned into the challenge, showing strength, patience, and resilience. Each choice they made, whether to stand together, confront doubts, or simply listen, revealed not only their love for each other, but also the depth of their personal growth. And then came the defining moment, a sunset moment that would become iconic. As the group date ended, Alexe and Andrew found themselves alone, the world fading away, leaving only their shared heartbeat and unspoken promises. In that silence, they realized that paradise wasn't about the drama. It was about discovering the strength of their love together. The climactic decision.
Every journey in paradise leads to a moment of truth. For Alexe and Andrew, it came during the final rose ceremony. Standing before each other, surrounded by the beauty of the island, they had to choose, not just for the cameras, but for themselves. The tension was palpable. Would they choose love over fear, authenticity over strategy, and trust over doubt? The answer, when it came, was a triumph of the heart, a moment that reminds us all why we fall in love in the first place. And just when we thought the story had reached its peak, there was one last twist, a final reveal behind the scenes that no one saw coming, and that would leave fans talking for weeks. Lessons beyond paradise. Alexe and Andrew's love story is more than just a television romance. It's a lesson in courage, vulnerability, and perseverance. It reminds us that love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, communicating honestly, and embracing the unexpected together. For every viewer who has faced doubt, jealousy, or fear in their own relationships, their story offers hope that love, when nurtured with patience and authenticity, can overcome anything.